Today let's check out the cutest character in the history of video games, at least in my humble opinion. Today let's take a look at Kirby's Adventure, released in 1993 by HAL Laboratories for the NES. Kirby's Adventure, or Hoshi no Kabi Yume no Izumi no Monogatari, or otherwise known as Kirby of the Stars, The Story of the Fountain of Dreams in Japan, was released in '93 by HAL Laboratories and was a sequel to Kirby in Dreamland for the Game Boy in '92. Kirby's Adventure was the only game released for the NES in the Kirby series. The game featured a lot of firsts for Kirby. It was the first one to be featured on a home console, also the first Kirby game to be in color, the first one to have a save feature, and the first appearance of Meta Knight, who will later appear in the Smash Bros. Game and is a popular character and a staple in that series to this day. Kirby's Adventure was released extremely late in the NES's life cycle in '93, literally the tail end of the system, and that's why the graphics on Kirby's Adventure are some of, if not the best graphics on the NES. It's colorful, vibrant, and definitely stands out the test of time. Looking back on the game today, it doesn't seem like something special, but at the time, the developers had figured out the NES's capabilities, and to put out a game like this in '93 for the NES was quite eye-popping, and it definitely stood out. Now, Kirby's Adventure, as cute as it is, definitely the gameplay follows in that suit, as it's not a difficult game at all, and is one of the more easier games on the NES. Definitely, you can beat Kirby's Adventure in a good 3 to 4 hours, at least that's how long it took me. The game consists of 7 worlds, each containing a set of regular levels, a boss fight, and a warp star door, which enables Kirby to travel from world to world. Most worlds also contain mini-games like a claw, which allow Kirby to gain extra lives, museums which allow Kirby to gain certain powers, or arenas where Kirby must battle with a mini-boss to win health items and allow him to copy the boss's special ability afterwards. Now, speaking of copy, that is a huge gimmick in the Kirby series, and it started on the Game Boy, but here it was perfected at first. In Kirby's Adventure, Kirby can copy up to 8 different abilities, which are Fire Kirby, Sword Kirby, Stone Kirby, Crash Kirby, Spark Kirby, Hammer Kirby, Ice Kirby, and Burning Kirby. Now, if Mario's gimmick was to smash enemies on the head by jumping and Sonic's was to spin at the speed of light, Kirby's was definitely to be a glutton, as he would consume the enemies by pushing the B button at the Swallow ability. This would allow him to copy the abilities. You can either swallow them, push down to swallow them and get a new ability, or just shoot them out, which creates a star effect to attack your enemies. This is an extremely addictive gimmick that was made, and definitely is fun. So that's Kirby's Adventure. A definite upgrade from the original on Game Boy, but it was perfected in my opinion for Kirby Superstar on the Super Nintendo. That game just had a plethora of content to it. Mini-games, actual games, it was the best Kirby as far as side-scrolling platforming Kirby's. Also, Kirby's Dream Course for the SNES is a personal favorite of mine. Really, I don't think I've ever played a bad Kirby game. Probably the most disappointing Kirby game was Kirby's Epic Yarn. It was just made too easy. This is Kirby's Adventure for the NES, a definite, definitive classic for the system and a must-play.
Hey, what is going on here?